Hey Rockin' Docs, my name is Diana and I'm a student at the University of Alberta along with Summer here. We are learning to be doctors, so this means we have been in school for a very long time. But it's worth it so that we can help people like you and your family feel better when you're sick.
Today we are reporting to you as your virtual camp leaders. Get ready to dive into the world of medicine and dentistry with us.
Unfortunately, our in-person camp was canceled this year, but we couldn't hold off on sharing our knowledge with you, so we decided to make a series of videos that closely resemble some of the activities we originally planned to perform in person with you. And even better, all the materials we use in any of our videos can be found right at home.
But in case you don't have some of the items for the experiments, we will also provide a list of items that can be used as replacements. You can follow along with us on screen, and if you'd like, written instructions can be found down below in the description box.
If you have any questions, get an adult to leave a comment in the comment box or send us an email, which can be found down below, and we will do our best to help. All right, let's get started.
In this video, we are going to discuss and demonstrate how the heart works and the importance of heart health. How are we going to do that? Well, stay tuned. Let's start with the basics. Briefly, we are going to explain the structure of the heart and how it works.
This is a picture of your heart. Your heart sits right underneath your rib cage on the left side of your body. If you take your right hand and hold it over your chest, your hand sits right about where your heart is. Your heart is a muscle that is specialized to pump blood, which contains oxygen throughout your body. We need blood to be pumped throughout our entire body in order to help all our organs work and keep us healthy. Now, let's dive more into how the heart works.
Blood is full of nutrients and oxygen that our body uses to stay healthy. When blood gets pumped through our body, the amount of nutrients and oxygen in our blood goes down as the body uses these resources. These resources need to be replaced so that we can continue to keep our body healthy. After our blood flows all the way through our body, it returns to our heart into a space or chamber called the right atrium. From here, the heart squeezes, which pumps the blood through an opening, called a valve, into the right ventricle.
The valve between the two spaces closes, which stops the blood from going backwards. Next, the heart squeezes again, and blood moves through a tube, or a vessel, called the pulmonary artery into the lungs. While the blood is in the lungs, it picks up more oxygen and is now ready to be pumped through our body again. The blood enters a new chamber on the left side of the heart, called the left atrium. Again, the heart squeezes to pump the blood through a valve into a new chamber, called the left ventricle. The heart squeezes again, pumping the blood through another big vessel called the aorta to go to the rest of the body. This cycle happens constantly throughout the day. For kids aged 8 to 15 years old, your heart pumps 50 to 120 times per minute.
Talking about how the heart works can sound quite complicated. The purpose of this experiment is to show you how the heart works so that we can better understand it.
It is important to take care of your heart by eating healthy and exercising so that your heart can continue to pump blood throughout your body for your whole life.
For this experiment, you will need 1 jar. You can use a mason jar, a mug, or any sort of cup should work. 1 large balloon. 2 flexible drinking straws. Scissors. Please make sure to ask an adult for help. A wooden skewer or a toothpick. But if you don't have either of these, scissors will work instead. Water. Enough to fill the jar or cup. A sink, tub, or bowl to put the jar inside so you don't spill in your house. Tape. Any kind of tape should do. We're using Scotch tape. A paper towel cardboard roll. And lastly, this is optional, juice or food coloring. First, take the jar or cup you have and place it in the tub. Fill it almost full with water. Here, we're also going to add some grape juice for color. You could also use food coloring instead, or just use water.
Now we are going to use scissors. Make sure an adult is around or ask for help. We want to cut the balloon at the neck. That is the part where you blow into, right before it starts to widen into a full balloon shape. Now set aside the neck for later and take the wider part of the balloon and stretch it over top of the jar so that it makes a lid. You want to try to pull the balloon very tight. You may want to ask for help here. The tighter the balloon and the more flat the surface of the balloon, the better for our experiment.
Using a toothpick or scissors, you want to poke 2 holes into the flat surface of the balloon. If you need to use scissors, make sure to ask an adult for help. You want the hole to be big enough for the straws to fit through, but not too big because we don't want any air to escape. Make the holes about 1 inch apart on opposite ends of the jar.
Now that you've made 2 holes, stick the long end of the straw into each hole. Again, the straw should fit tightly so that no air can escape.
Now, use the neck of the balloon that we had left over from earlier and slide the uncut end of the balloon neck onto one of the straws and tape it. Make sure the balloon is covering the opening of the straw.
Now, bend the straws downward towards the tub.
Gently press the center of the stretched balloon and watch what happens to the water in the jar. When you press the center of the balloon, you can see that water was pumped out of the straw into the tub. The cut end of the balloon worked as a valve to stop the water from going back down the straw. Here we have made a simple 1-chamber pump. This is how blood would flow from one chamber of the heart to the next, where the valve stops blood from flowing back into the chamber it is leaving from. This experiment shows us how the chambers and valves of the heart work. The only difference is our real human heart has 4 chambers, and our experimental one has 1.
If you try removing the balloon valve off the straw and press the center of the balloon again, you can see that water is still pumped out of the jar, but without the valve, there was nothing to keep the water from going back down the straw.
Now that we understand how the heart pumps, let's listen to the heart. When you go to the doctor, they listen to your heart with a stethoscope. Doctors listen to your heart to make sure it is working properly. Today we are going to make our own stethoscope.
Take your paper towel cardboard roll and find a partner. Take one end of the roll and place it against the left side of your partner's chest. Now place the other end of the roll against your ear. You should hear a lub-dub sound. That is the heart pumping blood. If you can't hear lub-dub, make sure you are in a quiet room and search around their left chest with the end of the roll until you find their heartbeat.
The lub-dub sound you are hearing through the roll is your partner's heart beating. The lub sound is their heart filling with blood, and the dub sound is their heart squeezing to pump blood.
So there you have it. We've learned about how the heart works. We hope this experiment helped you visualize the heart and better understand how it works.
We hope you enjoyed today's experiment, Rockin' Docs. Check out the other videos on our channel for more fun at-home experiments to learn about medicine and dentistry.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.